Hey, are we back? Looks like we're back. Sorry about that. If you guys got cut off in the last stream, I do apologize. I think we're back. I think we're good to. I think we're good to go. I think so. Are we there? Are there? Is everybody back? I think we're good. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. That's the first time that's actually happened. But it seems like we are back. I am having. There are some little glitches going on. This can be. It's Monday. It's a Monday morning. Okay, you'll never forgive me for the crash, Ben. I apologize. Tech is tech. Yeah, tech is tech. It seems to be all good now. Let me get a couple more links out for people because I think they just I think everybody will be going to the old link. Let's see. Get shareable link. I try not to view this on too many machines at the same time on the same network. You never really know. Something power related just died over that way. So maybe we've got some power glitches in the house. I think something just new link, new stream. The old one died. Sorry about that. There we go. I think we're good. Quick share this one out. No, we're good. We're still good. Stream started. Yep. Okay. All right. Whew. Joshua, you just made your first order with us. That's great, man. Whew. New stream. Sorry, the old one died. We are back now. Heart emoji. Good. We're set. I think we're set. Okay. Good. I'm going to close that down. So that's nothing's going on that one. Nothing's going on that one. Yeah, Joshua, tell us what you got. I got the Mondays today. I got a case of the Mondays. I absolutely have a case of the Mondays. I don't really do mornings. I'll let you guys know. I'm not a big morning person. I'm usually up pretty late. We're working, on China time in a lot of ways. China gets up late from my perspective, and so we end up having to work with vendors and farmers and things like that, and packaging and shipping and China Post and warehouse and all sorts of stuff. So we're generally up later. But my daughter has started a new preschool, and it was very, 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 very early this morning. Got her out of bed, and she looked out the window, and she's like, "Dad, it's still night." I'm like, "Well, no, it's morning." And she's like, "No." She's like, "Clearly it's not morning. I know what morning looks like. When it's morning, there's light out. There's no lights out." And I'm like, I guarantee you it's morning. Just watch it. It's going to start getting brighter." And she's like, "Dad, we woke up and it's still night. I don't wake up at night." And I'm like, "Okay." I just thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, this stream must have been meant for Tuesdays, Vicky Preserves. Well, I appreciate. Hey, Joseph Burton, you did make it in. Thank you. I'm glad. We had some stream issues, some stream glitches in the beginning. That's a good one, Ben. I like that. Guy walks into the library and says, "May I have a burger, please?" Librarian says, "Sir, this is a library." "Oh, I'm sorry. May I have a hamburger?" I love it. That's great. It's morning somewhere. It is morning somewhere. And it's still technically morning here. But Cloudy Days and Stargazers, choose tea on the wrapping. There's no problem with that, and you're going to absolutely enjoy those teas. And if you don't, let me know, and we'll work something out. I really enjoy the Stargazer wrapper. That's another one with by Alka Michael. Another fun design. If I need to get Alka Michael back on because the stream that I had with him just didn't work out well. Oh, right. Yeah. By the way, it's almost Chinese New Year, so we actually have a sale. It's one of the things I was supposed to talk about this morning. Sorry, guys. We have a sale. We've got a sale going on right now on the site. 15% off. Use the code CNY2021. And you'll get 15% off everything, which is awesome. You can't be upset at that, unless you just ordered like the day before the sale. But then if you did, just send me a message and I'll hook you up. Don't worry about that. I get messages from people all the time like, "Oh my gosh, I missed the sale by like a day," and I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry. I'll extend the sale. It's not a big deal." Ruben, what did you miss? Well, you missed the stream dying midstream. My computer just like slowly seizing up on itself. I am not entirely certain why. It's the first time it's actually done that. What is my favorite tea that I'm selling right now? Man, it's like asking me which of my children I love more. I'm probably really excited about the 2016 Emerald Sea, which somebody just told me is actually out of stock, but it's actually not out of stock, but the site may say so, and I'll actually fix that right now. 2016 Beneath an Emerald Sea from the Seattle inventory is just in such a really great place right now. Oh wait, no, it's not. It actually does have some stock. They must have been going to the Seattle one, or the China one. It does look like it's out of stock. It's interesting. So on the site, we keep things. People like to use the site for archive reasons. They want to go back and see what a tea was, and they want to be able to kind of like see the pics and the image and the description. And so I actually keep the product pages up as an archive for a lot longer than I think other companies would. Not just tea companies, but generally when a company sells a lot of product, they like take it off the site. But for us, I like to keep all of them up there so that somebody can actually go to that same URL later on and then be able to like read the description or remember like what mountain it came from, or if it was a blend or what it was, or things like that. Just by 30, there we go. Why do I like that one so much? So that's one of the first blends that I got really excited about. I think the only blend I had done before that was Hidden Song. I had done that a couple times, and so Hidden Song was definitely a learning curve type blend for me. And that's when I was like, okay, all right, I think I got a handle on like how this blending thing works. I can go and start doing some experiments. And I had kind of like talked to Llama. I was like, well, I got this really idea. Like if we took like this one tea and this tea and kind of like worked them together, I think it'd be pretty good. And I think at that point in time, Llama wasn't as into the blending stuff or something, and so she didn't really think I could do it. I don't know. That I was just like, I think it can work. And so it went, and it turned out to be just really awesome. And that tea's just gotten better and better over the years. I just really enjoyed drinking it. And I think the 2016 in particular just has a nice amount of age on it. It's just in a really good spot right now. And we maybe only have 7 or 8 tones of it left, maybe 10 tones, 6, 12, 13 tones left. Not too much, so it's not going to last much longer. And after this sale, we'll be getting a little bit of a price bump to reflect how little inventory that we have. It's good, really good stuff. Do I know roughly which day China Post will be stopping shipping? Roughly in about a week. 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, something around then. But it kind of has a trickle down thing, because that's the day when, technically China Post will still take the packages, but everybody at customs basically just completely goes home. So China Post will keep moving packages around inside of China. They will still be taking the boxes from us, but there's just no way for them to get out of the country. So we like to give there a little bit of a padding room for like orders to be fulfilled and taken by China Post and brought over to Shanghai or Beijing or wherever they're going out of, actually making it out of customs and getting out of the country. And if you order now, then it'll actually work like that. Also, the people that work for us in China need time off, so they'll be taking a week or more off to go do fam stuff, because that's just what you do at Chinese New Year. You pack up your stuff and you go hang out with family, because there's nothing else to do, because the entire place like just shuts down. The entire country just grinds to a halt. Like, restaurants are closed, everything's closed. Everything's just closed. It would be cool to send out an information pamphlet with each cake. Yeah, I've thought about that. It's a little bit of extra work. You actually see some companies, old school China companies, doing that. They'll have like a piece of paper that's got some details printed and it's actually stuck into the cake. We could do something like that, but is a lot of extra work. We just haven't really gotten around to doing that yet. It's not much extra cost for printing, but the wrapping company would actually probably charge you to everything you do. They charge. And, you know, granted, it's maybe just, you know, I don't know, like an extra 50 cents a cake or something to stick one of those in there. But then that adds up over the course of things and stuff like that. I don't know. We haven't really, I haven't put a lot of thought into it. But it is something that we could do, and it would be a kind of interesting. But people like to be able to go to the website, and it helps with, you know, like SEO type things, stuff like that. Google search engine optimization. Yeah, those terrible Google Translate ones, which one person cut and pasted across like every single other one, and it's like half in English and half in Chinese, and like all the words are using like the old style translation. It just starts telling you like this tea will give you, you know, gas and, you know, cure you from cancer and stuff. Yeah, those ones. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Just take those and print them and stick them in there. Just photocopy them, drop them in. Ty, you ordered 5 days ago. Hopefully it gets out of Guangzhou. Oh yeah. I'm sure it will. They're actually right now fairly quickly getting things out of Guangzhou, like within 1 or 2 weeks. But then the real hiccup is usually on the receiving countries' customs. Like customs in the U.S. right now is backlogged by many weeks. Yeah, it's really fun to get those little info packets inside of there. Pretty funny, but yeah. So yeah, we do have a sale going on right now. So if you wanted to stock up a little bit, there's a little list of some teas that'll be getting a little bit more expensive. We usually do that like once a year. Take the teas that we have much less of, or the teas that have been around for a while, and they get a little bit more expensive. But we always let people know ahead of time so they can stock up if that's something that they really wanted before the price bump. I'm looking forward to the tea harvest this year. I'm looking forward to the spring session. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We'll see how the weather affects things this year. It's been particularly dry recently in last couple of years in Yunnan. It makes for better tea, but it makes for less production and higher costs. So that kind of trickles down. Everything just ends up getting more expensive, which is why it's interesting. You can actually find older teas are actually cheaper than newer teas in a lot of respects. I mean, for example, like even just, you know, like standard, you know, like dye productions from 15-20 years ago are cheaper than what they would almost be new now. I mean, I don't know, I don't follow the dye prices exactly, but you know, you can get something with some decent amount of age on it, you know, online from other sellers that deal in old cakes for less than you can get new production. New production stuff is really expensive. Brodo Man, this is one of the teas that made you realize I liked aged sheng a few years ago. I still have some in Pu'er. It smells like bringing back memories of menthol cooling effect. Yeah, 2008 Jingmai, really good stuff. It's really good stuff. I don't think in the few times that we've tried to press it, it just ends up disappointing. So we kept it loose. Something about the pressing process on this material, either it needs more years to recover from that, but we always ended up disappointing. It just kind of like killed the aroma, killed the experience, and so every time we pressed it, it just wasn't, didn't really like the end result. I do have 1 or 2 cakes of it pressed downstairs a couple years ago. I should pull them out. They probably calmed down, but it's such a really nice experience loose, and so we've just enjoyed keeping it and selling it loose. Joseph Burton, funny thing about you, you've been getting packages from China like 2 to 2.5 weeks consistently, but in the US take much longer, 3 to 5 weeks. Yeah, I think the US and Canada have different shipping things. I think the US is a much larger bringer-inner of foreign goods, if that's the right way to say that. I think the scale is just much higher. I think that's what it is. We've noticed USPS has significantly ramped up multiple ports of entry. In the past, most everything from Asia area all comes in through San Francisco. But I think San Francisco is just absolutely just hammered. And so now we've started to see a lot more of our stuff get routed through New Jersey, New York, and some ports on the East Coast and stuff. So I think they're trying to spread the load, because it's a lot. It's just, and especially in a year when, I mean, everybody is shipping things because nobody wants to go to a store because of the COVID, and then you've got people who get sick and like a whole warehouse gets shut down. It's just everything just kind of compounds itself. Like you're relying more on shipping, but then you're also having less people that actually can do the work, and so it just builds and builds and builds and builds. Is this the tea stored in the attic you talked about with Marshall? Is there a different batch of tea? That's different. This was stored much cleaner than the attic stored Jingmai. And that was a 2003 material. So this is 2008. So the other stuff was 5 years older, and it's amazing because you think, well, just 5 years. You look at like a 5-year-old sheng now versus new stuff, and they're still relatively in the same sphere. You think 5 years can't make much difference, but like a 2008, 2003 Jingmai, just unbelievable. And I think that was. This stuff here was actually stored quite nicely. It was stored, like in plastic and the proper storage way. You've got Maocha in plastic and cardboard boxes and stuff like that. It's the standard for storing stuff. But I think the that 2003 Jingmai Maocha that we sold was probably just your standard farmer mesh bags, which are more air permeable, so probably had more access to humidity and stuff like that. And yeah, it was not a very clean tea when we got it, and so, but it was just so good. Like I just couldn't stop drinking it. It was just so good. It was like really, really, really was like that exceptional. So we cleaned up the tea as best as we could and sold it in single sessions, and it was just so good. This stuff brewed like motor oil. I don't know if Richard is still in the chat, but I think Richard had a session with us when we were at Phoenix Tea. We brought it back. It was pretty good. Scollopson, you must admit you don't like USPS is not able to be contacted by foreigners. Parcel is stuck for 2 months. Can't ask what's up. If you don't like USPS, you should try to talk to support at China Post. Go ahead, please. I encourage you. I encourage you to spend some quality time with the fantastic representatives at China Post. See how that works for you. I personally find USPS far more accessible and easy to deal with, at least from a business perspective. So China Post is. I mean, stuff gets interesting when it comes to like international type stuff, anyways, because at some point in time, like USPS will take the package and they will give it to somebody else. Like at that point in time, really, what can USPS actually do? And we had some orders that were supposed to be sent, like super quickly. Somebody paid like extra mega priority to ship something from here to Italy, and then Italian Post just did nothing with it. And then it's just like, so where is it? And USPS is like, well, we did everything we could, so the customer's talking to me, I'm talking to USPS. USPS is, trying to talk to Italy Post. Italy Post is just like, whatever. And then, it's like, what do you do? Yeah, just it's kind of international shipping in general is pretty awkward. Chavez, maybe you missed it. Was that American stored? No, it wasn't. It was stored in Jingmai, and then we bought it. There wasn't that much of it, maybe just like a kilo, and then we parceled it out and sold it from Kunming. Ooh, hey, howdy, what's going on? Richard, now brewing the 2007 Planet Jingmai. Yeah, Richard, did you have that 2003 Jingmai with us? Oh, you're drinking the Planet Jingu. Did you have that 2003 Jingmai with us at a session in at Phoenix Tea? I know Andrew Goodman was there. I thought you might have been there. That was a really good one. I mean, it just brewed so black. It's just so thick and inky dark. It's so good. Such a good tea. Such a really, really good tea. Scobson, you can't contact them when you have an address in the U.S. Yeah, I mean, yeah. What you've got to do is you have to have the sender actually contact USPS for you. So I mean that's generally how it works. So if we're shipping something international from here and it goes via USPS, you know, the customer contacts me and then I'll interface with USPS. I'm on the phone with USPS all the time. So I become great friends with people on USPS, and there's a whole different department for international stuff, and there's this one guy, and I just recognize his voice every time I come on, like I know it's him, and he's been a real difficult person to deal with in the past. He's a very strict, attention to detail, follow the rules kind of guy, and rarely ever really wants to listen to the explanations that I have about why I think he should give me additional help. Yeah, I've become eventually my warm, winning personality convinces him to help me. What is the temperature and humidity like in Jingmai compared to Kunming and Guangzhou? You enjoy the effect of Zishuangbana storage out of the Changtai Memorial. Jingmai is going to be real similar to Zishuangbana, dramatically different than Kunming. Might be a little bit similar to Guangzhou, but it's really high altitude, so it has cooler evenings, crisper evenings, but daytime is very hot and humid. Jingmai, you're basically right on the border of Burma, Myanmar, and you know, if you don't know what Burma and Myanmar look like, watch Rambo 4. I mean, it's just jungle. It's just hot, humid, dense jungle. But that is a little bit lower altitude, and so you get up into the mountains and stuff. And Jingmai's pretty high up, above 3,000 meters. So that's pretty decent. And that makes things just a little bit cooler. But no, Jingmai is hot and sweaty, hot, humid, and the nights can be pretty hot and humid as well in the summertime. Bugs, lots of bugs everywhere. But there's some videos of me picking tea in Jingmai. You can go and check those out, kind of get an idea of the Jingmai atmosphere. It's just the real interesting thing about Jingmai is purely export only. You are not allowed to bring tea into Jingmai. If you bring tea into Jingmai, it will be confiscated at the border. They have guards that check every single car going in. So if you bring stuff in, the idea is like they want to protect the purity of the Jingmai name. They don't want you bringing in some garbage Thai tea and selling it as Jingmai, and so they're pretty strict about that. And so we've actually had our tea in quarantine at the border of Jingmai before, because we were on a road trip and had all the tea with us, and so, you know, like I sealed the boxes, you know, as best I could, you know, I put my own little marks and things around them to be able to make sure if somebody messed with it or something. But realistically, nobody cares about some tea some foreigner picked. I mean, they just assume I don't know anything anyways. They're like, yeah, who cares about that foreigner's tea? It can't be that good anyways. So I kind of win in that respect. So didn't really have a problem leaving our tea there. It wasn't nobody messed with it. They're pretty good about it. And leave our tea at the quarantine station, head up into Jingmai, buy what we need, and buy it and bring it out. So that's what makes a Jingmai stored tea really unique, because nobody stores tea in Jingmai, very rarely. They bring it out to the markets, and then once it's out to the market, then doesn't go back. So finding a 15-year-old Jingmai stored Jingmai is still not super unusual, but it's pretty rare. Richard, you wish you took better notes during your tea tastings. Yeah, hopefully we can do it again in the future. That would be fun someday in the post-COVID world. Let's see. Jacob, you finally got paid. So you're putting in an order. Awesome, thank you. Make sure you use the discount code for our sale, CNY 2021, for until tomorrow night, Tuesday night at midnight Pacific time. So it gave people a nice big 3-day window to get their orders in. Jacob, Myanmar is going through some interesting stuff. Myanmar has always gone through interesting stuff. only that we have some visual insight into what's going on there, or we think that we do. There has been constant fighting between the rebels in the mountain and the government military, and it's really hard to know what actually is going on there. It makes things a little bit interesting sometimes. A number of the tea farmers that we work with are close enough to Burma that you can, Burma, Myanmar. I mean, I don't know. It's Myanmar wants to call it Myanmar. U.S. wants to call it Burma. I don't know. I just call it Burma because that's just kind of what I got used to. I think of like Burmese pythons and stuff like that. So Burma, Myanmar. A lot of the farmers we work with are close enough that you could actually just walk into the mountains of Burma. It's not hard. There's no border. I mean, it's just the middle of the jungle. The border is about as solid as Swiss cheese. I mean, it's just easy to get in and out. And yeah, you can get whatever you want. You can get whatever you want over in Burma. Like the farmers like, dude, check out this like grenade I bought. Like, why did you buy a grenade? Like, what are you gonna do? He's like, for defense. Defense against what? Like, what are you gonna use a grenade on out here, man? Like, I don't know. It didn't make any sense. But whatever. I guess he just wanted a grenade. Gotta admit, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd like to buy a Burmese grenade as well. Play around with it or something. Ultramags, what's going on? We're talking about political conflict and borders and third world nations and teas and stuff. Yeah, so a lot of our farmers work really close to the border, and occasionally, rarely, something happens. Some conflict on the Burmese side will do something wrong, and they'll get the calculations on their mortars wrong, and the rounds will land on the Chinese side and like kill some farmers, and then the Chinese military like builds up like a little presence and stuff. And one of the first years we were there, we got stuck in this big giant like Chinese like military convoy. Like all the vehicles are numbered so they can stay in order, and we were like stuck between vehicle 144 and 145 somehow on the road going down there. And like they didn't like that like we were stuck in that line. And so like I had these soldiers come up and they're like knocking on the window, and I'm like, oh shit, like here it goes. But they were just like, hey, could you move your vehicle to the side for a moment and let us pass? I'm like, yeah, sure, I will. And so they had let the rest of the convoy pass. It was a little interesting. Jugpan, what's going on? Hey Glenn, do you have private storage or rely solely on producers to keep your tea in China? No, we run our own pu'er tea storage and fulfillment facility in Kunming. I don't like relying on anybody, to be honest. I like to have as much control over things as possible. So we have our own warehouse facility in Kunming that we use to store our tea, package our teas, do as much of a storage and processing of everything that we can ourselves. And so, yeah, I don't like relying on other people. I can't. I have a quality standard that doesn't always match with how things are done in China. So I try to remove Chinese quality from the picture as much as I possibly can, and introduce our own standards of quality. So then I can at least then I can have an honest conversation with our customers, where the customer is just like, well, why was this done this way? And I'm like, well, I can tell you why it was done that way, and I can take a little bit more full ownership on the quality side of things. Skovsen, have you noticed Javez, are you talking about Jingmai and personal drinking? Yeah, you can drink, I mean, they're not going to care if you're bringing in a little bit of tea or something like that. But if you've got like, sometimes our car is entirely full of boxes, if you're bringing like 500 kilos of tea up into Jingmai, they're going to get upset. And they get, like, I mean, it's serious. Like, I've seen trucks like set on fire. Like they will if they find like a truck bringing in like a lot of tea, they will just take, and they're not going to set the truck on fire. They probably shouldn't set the tea on fire either, but yeah, they will. They'll just take it and they'll bring it all out, and they'll make a big spectacle of it. They'll just make a big, huge, giant pile of all the smuggled in Jingmai tea, and they'll set it on fire and burn it down. Everybody posts it on WeChat like, don't bring tea into Jingmai. And that's great. I really wish I think some more areas should take that level of seriousness about like protecting their name, their identity, their recognition in the market. If you buy Jingmai tea, you're probably actually getting Jingmai tea, not something else. Let's see, what do we got? Sculpson, have you noticed a difference in Zhengshui clay colors and taste? Not really. Black and red are actually the exact same clay. It's just there's more smoke in the kiln. Do I have a black? If you actually look like inside of like a black pot, you see that? So that's actually red clay, but it's been smoked in the kiln. They introduce a carburizing element to and when the clay is at that perfect temperature and somewhat of a liquid porosity in the clay, the smoke just kind of infuses into it, turns it nice and black. I haven't noticed much of a difference between the black and the red, although in my mind, black is for show, red is for sheng, but that's just how I do it. But no, actually, I use some sheng in the black ones as well. But yeah, just in my mind, it's just how it is. The white clay is a little bit different because that's a noticeably different clay. So the black and red, I'll say like I'll just call it purple clay because that's what they generally call it. The Zhengshui purple clay has a blend of all the different clays. There's like 5 different clays in the area, and it just they work it together. And each shop can kind of have like a different type of a house blend of the clays. And one of those clays is the white clay. And if you get like a white clay teapot, that one will probably be a little bit different, but at the same time, it's still pretty dense clay. Probably offers a pretty similar experience. But if there was any option for difference in clay quality, not clay quality, but clay experience, the white ones would be different than the black/red. Jacob Hamlin, you remember watching Rambo 4, doing a lot of research on it? Yeah, it's something interesting. I mean, people like to make fun of like the Rambo, Stallone action flicks and stuff, but I think he actually specifically, I mean, he's mentioned this before. He specifically works on trying to bring attention to areas of the world that maybe need attention brought to them in each of the different films. So Rambo 4, he wanted to talk about what was going on in like the Burma, Myanmar struggles, and Rambo 3, I think he was wanted to bring attention to like a lot of the Afghanistani freedom fighters and things. And Rambo 5 was, I guess, trying to bring attention to the border drug trade, smuggling, sex trade kind of thing. And so I think he actually like works to try and be a little bit political about where he's focusing his stories on. So there was a lot of really interesting, a lot of interesting stuff going on in that area of the world. Ben Moore, I got a couple teas in mind to order from Seattle inventory. Can't fit a third one in. Make up your mind. Any suggestions? So what do you got for number 1 and 2? And I can maybe give a suggestion for number 3. Looking to drink sheng now as a daily drinker tea. Yeah, grenades for the tea-stealing pythons in the jungle. I'm not so worried about the pythons in the jungle. I mean, I can handle a python. I mean, pythons maybe would have more of an effect on a child. I'm not really worried about a python, but yeah, the king cobras that they get out there scare the shit out of me, man. It's the last thing you want to run into when you're tea picking some giant king cobra. I mean, those king cobras can get up 12, 16 feet in length, and one of the interesting things about them is like 2/3 of their body length they can actually lift off of the ground. So, I mean, think about that. Like, if you've got a 12-foot snake and 2/3 of its body can be lifted off the ground, that means that thing can stand taller than you can. Like, its face can stand like at your length, your head height. I mean, even if you're a 6 foot tall American, it's pretty tall. That snake can stand there, like right there, and just like look you right in the face. Forget that, man. Don't mess with those. I don't like that. Don't like that at all. Scobson, I've always found that messing with energetics is super sketchy. No boom boom for me, thank you. Yeah, I like fireworks. I like things that go boom, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird like that. I would certainly play with a a grenade, I would certainly, if I was given the opportunity, I would certainly pull the pin and throw one if I could do it in a safe manner. But I've never been given that opportunity. But would certainly take it if I was. But I don't know if I'd trust like a Burmese border grenade. I did. Well, I mean, I should say that. I mean, I say that, but then the farmer also showed me a gun that he had smuggled in from Burma, and it was one of the most creative, like Mad Max style, like Borderlands, like end of the world. Like I'm gonna build a gun out of whatever I can. Built around a 22 blank nail gun, so you had to like load it with a nail, and then it was a muzzle loader, and so it had a tube, and so you had to like pour like little tiny like BBs down the end of it, and like pack it down and like load it with like a single shot. I mean, it was just like crappy like welds and stuff. But yeah, he's like, yeah, dude, go shoot it if you want. Of course, he kept it just loaded, and the thing had no safety and stuff on there. It was just the funniest thing. This guy's like a super strict Buddhist, so he can't take a life. I'm like, dude, what are you doing with this? He's like, it's for hunting. Like, hunting what? Like, you don't even eat meat. And he's like, oh, well, I can eat it, but I can't kill it. And I was just like, well, why? He's like, but I can tell other people to kill it for me. And so I'm like, really? Like, that's your loophole? That's your Buddhist loophole, is having these people that work for you that kill animals with this so that you can eat them, but like you don't. But in his mind, it was just totally made sense. So I did actually shoot that. And that was kind of fun in a weird post-apocalyptic way, but a lot of creative guns out there in countries like that. Scoffson, so you got a black and a white Jingmai. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, you should be able to. There should be some difference in the two of them, but it might not be as different as clays from like radically different areas. I think you can like I Ching has some radically different clay compositions that can taste entirely different. This is an example of like a clay in the area. This clay is found a couple hours north of Jingmai, and this thing here will taste remarkably different than a Jingmai natural clay because it has a really high iron content on there. Ben, you got Low Rider and Jingmai. Those are nice. I like to see if people would be interested in the 2016 Beneath an Emerald Sea from our Seattle inventory. Such a good tea. Really good spot. Otherwise, Stargazer. I think Stargazer is a pretty good deal. Either of the Moon Princesses that we have here are pretty good deals. Fall into the daily drinker category. So yeah, look at if you got room to splurge towards the price of the 2016 Beneath an Emerald Sea. Like I don't think you'll ever go wrong with that one. That one's great, and we maybe only have 30, 40, 45, something like that, maybe 50 cakes of it left here in Seattle. And then when it's gone, it's gone. Stargazer, yeah, just think about Stargazer on the budget end. The Moon Princesses from 2016, 2017 Moon Princess in the Seattle inventory. Those would be a nice way to kind of like round out your order there. Just my idea. Let's see. Scoffson, you got a friend whose profile pic is him grabbing a wild king cobra on the tail. Well, yeah, I might not do that myself. I have a great deal of respect for people who are wild snake handlers. To be honest, I mean, the king cobras they're pretty long. Like if you grabbed it by the tail and you kept moving, I think you'll be fine. And like I've watched a lot of videos of guys like handling king cobras. I mean, they're ones that they have a lot of experience with and they know how to do it. And, like they can pick them up and hold them and carry them and move them around. King cobras are relatively docile. It's the smaller cobras you have to be worried about. The king cobra knows it can kill you, but they only have a relatively small amount of venom. It takes them a while to build that venom up. Granted, they can control the amount of venom they actually inject in a single bite, and they can actually bite without doing the venom. So they really don't want to use that. It's really like a last defense, or when they're actually hunting. So, and they really don't mess with humans the way the smaller cobras will, because the smaller cobras are a little bit more aggressive. And in Yunnan, there's actually a snake that's even more aggressive, like a bamboo viper or something like that. Those ones they'll come at you. Like they're not gonna mess around. Like they don't want you around. And so, but the king cobras, they generally they'll be aggressive and they'll hiss and they'll let you know to get away, and you probably should. But yeah, if I was your friend, I probably wouldn't have grabbed the king cobra by the tail. But probably made a great picture. I don't know, you see stuff like that, like people, going into like Yosemite National Parks or something. It's like, hey, I'm going to take a picture with this bear. And I'm like, no, like it doesn't, like the internet karma that you're going to get for that photo is not worth the risk. Give these animals the respect they deserve. Yeah, I like snakes, but they kind of terrify me at the same time. Oh, Ben Moore, you already have Stargazer. Emerald Sea sounds cool. It doesn't matter. It'll be all good. Yeah, cool. Good choices then. Sure, you're welcome. Jugpan, can't wait to get Wildwood. Yes, you did. You got you ordered one of each, right? The 2018 and the 2019 Wildwood. Let me know what you think of the combination of those two. Scoffson, he's a snake person. He's got a license to remove venomous snakes when he was in Australia. He was on a guided tour. Okay, that's certainly within the category of reasonable need for pulling the tail on a king cobra. Yeah, speaking of like dangerous snakes, Australia, man. Yeah, don't mess with Australia. Everything in Australia will kill you. I ran into a handful of venomous snakes when I was in Australia. I like motorcycles. I don't know, I really don't talk about motorcycles too much. I like motorcycles, I like adventure travel. When I was in Australia in 2008, I bought a motorcycle and drove around Australia for months. Went straight through the center of the Australian desert in the middle of their summertime on a motorcycle. That's an adventure. But no, the Australian snakes, they don't mess around. Like the top deadliest snakes in the world are all found in Australia. I ran into two. I ran into a king brown up in the north, where it was. It's funny. So since Australia is entirely in the southern hemisphere, it seems that like in the U.S. you kind of have like this idea of like the deep south, like that's where like all like the hicks and the rednecks and stuff are. There's this idea that they're not like intelligent, right? They're always constantly like mocked and stuff like that. Although ironically speaking, I mean, you look at things like NASCAR and stuff. Man, do you know what it takes to like be a successful like NASCAR team? Like that's the amount of like engineering and technical knowledge is huge. I'll never like mock like Southern intelligence. Even like you look at like even like the military, not the military, but like NASA and Redstone and all the Alabama space projects and things like that. They're all Southern engineers, so there's no reason to really assume that people in the South are less intelligent. But that's just like that's what culture likes to do. But it's flipped in Australia. They talk about like the deep north. So we talk about like the deep south. They talk about the deep north. They're like, oh yeah, you're going up to the deep north. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of fun up there. It's kind of funny. But yeah, it's a lot more hot and humid the further north you get in Australia. Big snakes, and ran into a king brown that was trying to like climb into my motorcycle, probably because it was a little bit warmer. That was just like the scariest thing to me. Like the idea that I'd be driving down the road and not know that there was like a king brown that had like stuck itself in my engine. Just like the idea, like it like going up my motorcycle pant leg as I'm driving down the road, like just gave me nightmares for the longest time. It was really pretty kind of spooked about that. The other one, there was a really big snake in the snowy mountains when I was driving around, and the roads in the snowy mountains in Australia are just gorgeous, perfect motorcycle roads. And I was driving much faster than I should, getting my knee down in corners, just a gorgeous day. And so I got my knee down this semi-aggressive corner going around it, and got my head maybe like this far off the ground, kind of like pretending I'm like a little MotoGP rider, which I shouldn't have been doing by myself alone, way up in the mountains. Go around this corner, and like right there in the peak of the apex in the corner is just this giant king brown just sunning itself. and like there's this moment frozen in time, like 3 frames, like me like seeing it sitting right there, like this is my head, right, and it's kind of just like curving around the apex, and freaked the snake out more than probably snake was more scared than I was. But yeah, probably like this far away from like my face as I'm going around the corner on this apex, and snake just like jumps up in the air and panics and takes off. And it's the idea that it might have like jumped right into my face as I'm going around the corner. Still think about that. Yeah, no, snakes aren't bad creatures. Just give them some respect. Ty says pit viper or vipers are some of the coolest looking snakes, especially bush vipers. They weren't so dangerous. Yeah, they're just crazy dangerous. So you don't really get a whole lot of really bad snakes in Yunnan, thankfully, because it's higher altitude. But you know, with global warming and climate, as things change, the snakes are moving further up. So they'll come up from Thailand and Laos and Burma and Myanmar, and they'll move up into Yunnan. So you see snakes a little bit more now. Australia is amazing, Scott. I love Australia. Australia's an incredible country. The bogans, the northern bogans. Yep, the deep north. The Foob says, I gotta ask, how much 2008 Jingmai do you have in stock? I don't remember. I don't know. I can check. I think it's a decent amount. I mean, it's not going out anytime soon. And I know the farmer still has boxes of it that he has stored and aged. Every time we go to buy a little bit more of it from him, it's always more expensive. So I'm not sure if we want to buy any more from him. Ruben, when you were at a survival summer camp in the northern United States, ran into a snake that mimicked a cobra with the open neck and all. You stoned and ate it. Tasted like chicken. Yeah, snake meat is actually quite decent stuff. A lot of places in the U.S. have snake cuisine. I have eaten a couple snakes in my life. Python. I've had python and rattlesnake. It's not bad. Yeah, I mean, it's just a simple meat. They'll eat anything in China, though. They'll also put anything in alcohol. I've seen, a king cobra is like an entire king cobra, like dropped into like a giant jar of baijiu or whatever whiskey they were making. Venom from the snake interacts with the alcohol and it's supposed to make it more potent from a Chinese medicine perspective. Not really interested in trying that one. Do we sell this Maocha? We do. We do sell this Maocha. It's on the site right now. 15% off. The code CNY 2021. Happy Chinese New Year. Stamina, Javez. That's what it is. That's what it all comes down to. It gets a stamina and a vigor. Entirely provable scientifically that snake vigor venom. I don't know. You got to wonder, like, if the type of person that actually wants to drink that stuff is probably a specific type of person anyways that probably doesn't have problems with vigor and stamina. In my opinion, the people who don't drink that probably are the ones that might have issues with vigor and stamina. So it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy that we're like, yes, I don't know. We need a double-blind snake alcohol venom scientific comparison just so we know for sure whether it really actually does anything. Oh, this tea's all about the aroma. It's just so nice to smell it. It's got that nice warm raisins, some nice grapey, figgy notes. It's good stuff. So what do you guys got set for your week? What do you guys got planned this week? I'm trying to figure out what we got going on. What do we got going on this week? Besides the sale, I don't know. I got to start making some plans for new products this year. I got a couple fun designs I'm working on. Got to get some. I've got some Photoshop templates that kind of allow me to see what the cake looks like when I've actually got it. I've got like a test cake that I make some overlay layers on, kind of take a look at that, see what that looks like. Got a couple fun designs. We're gonna try some fun blends. I think Dark Depths is sold out. I'm sorry, guys. I think we're entirely done with the Dark Depths. Sorry if the music stream keeps cutting out. Oh, that's right, Sculpson. You sent me the pics on the table that you were making. That was pretty cool. Yeah, you want to have a nice. It's nice to eat when you get like a layer of rosin. You know, kind of polish that down, put another nice layer on. Just make sure you don't get any dust in that final layer. Make sure you get it all out. We did some. I sent you the. Yeah, I think I sent you the pictures of the rosin countertop that I did. Or if I didn't, I think I was going to try to. I can't remember. And it turned out well, but there's some little bubbles came up in the end. So I keep thinking about just see those little bubbles, and it stresses me out a little bit. I want to go polish it all down, put another thin coat over the top. But realistically, I should just get it, let it go. How in the Alan Rickman? Hey, Alan Rickman can be put into chat now. What was it about the other night? Maybe it's in caps. I don't know. Really, Dark Depths is sold. Dark Depths is done. Dark Depths is gone, which is sad. Very, very sad. We are going to try to re-blend Dark Depths. Sorry about the music stream, guys. Whatever. I'm just going to cancel it. Forget this. Forget music. Who needs music? It's done. It's done. Can't rely on internet streaming music anymore. That was Chill Hop Music on Twitch, by the way. Good stuff. Anyways, I did show the pic on stream a couple weeks ago. Great. Yeah, Dark Depths is all done. I believe that we have some in transit for our Seattle inventory, but we've lost a lot of in transit packages already, so it might be in one of those. It might not. We may see more available from the Seattle inventory in another month, but I can't promise that. So yeah, I was trying to give people the heads up for a while that Dark Depths was getting close. But yes, we no longer have Dark Depths on the site, which is a little pretty sad because that was an awesome tea and it sold very well. It's nice. You waiting for payday to get a cake? At least have 5 grams left. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It was that cake. It was good. It was really good. I'm working on seeing what I can do to re-blend it, but it's like my worry is that my second iteration of the blend won't live up to what the first one was, because I think the first one was pretty amazing, pretty special. We've tested a few different. You've guys seen my Instagram posts recently. I tested a few different little blendish things, some Maochas and stuff, and I don't know. It's just not. It's not coming out the way I want it to do. Pu'er is an interesting thing as well, because once the way loose pu'er tastes versus the way it tastes after it's pressed, it's much different. Like if you take sheng and you drink a session with sheng and then you press it, and then a week later you have another session with what was off that cake, it's like 99% going to be the same. But sheng does something. Shou does something different. It just it can be significantly different after pressing, and sometimes you just got to do what you can do, and then just roll the dice, see what it comes out with, and I think it worked really well for Dark Depths. But yes, Dark Depths 2, the darker deepening is in the works, but we'll see how it works. Ruben, okay, really, King Cobra bitten men always come to the ER with an erection. Yeah, why does YouTube chat let people say erection, but they weren't letting people say Alan Rickman the other night? It doesn't make any sense. That's funny. Venom compounds. Yeah, there's interesting stuff in that snake venom. Figgy Preserves, gonna try some of this Holy Flame. Dude, yeah, no, Holy Flames is legit. If Richard is still in the chat, Richard swears by it. Richard has probably bought more Holy Flame from us than anyone else in in our large list of clients. Richard loves some Holy Flame. Do I play any instruments? You need a T music crossover outlet. I really enjoy instruments made out of bamboo. Myself, I like bamboo flutes. I play the Japanese the shakuhachi. Love that instrument. I just think it has such an amazing versatility and in range of expression. I took erhu lessons when I was in China. I'm really bad. Erhu is horribly difficult to play. Like the strings are always going out of tune, and it's there's no fret, so you have to play everything by ear, and it changes, depending on the tension on the string, and you got to move it around. It's like I'm very difficult to play. But it's actually an actual python snakeskin wrapped erhu box, which means I can't import it back into the U.S. without getting some special paperwork or something. I like the erhu a lot. I just like it's also has great versatility and range. But when I was trying to learn how to play it, Lamu's parents were so kind, but it was so bad. They're like, "Oh, you're doing so great," and I'm like, "I'm really not. Like, I know." Like my ear is good enough to know that this is not what I want it to sound like, and I kid you not. The neighborhood cats got a big kick out of me playing it. Like they would be outside meowing every time I played the erhu because it sounded like I was actually like strangling kittens. Like, so bad. You guys don't want to hear my erhu. So bad. I like instruments. I like playing with instruments. I do not consider myself a musician by any stretch because I'm in the city of Seattle where everyone is an accomplished musician. And I'm like the only one in my friend pool that is not in a band of some sort. So yeah, high standards in the city of Seattle for music. We got Gemma a little kids style soprano ukulele, and then we also got one. And so Lamo and I have been practicing like playing some ukulele. I enjoy the ukulele. We've got a ukulele in China that we bought. We take it on our little road trips and kind of like try to like play some little songs when we're driving around in China. Keep the kids entertained. But yeah, so that's about the extent of my musical stuff. I like flutes. I like stringed instruments. Look at that, Jacob Hamlin. It lets you say anything you want. Like nobody's getting blocked. If you guys weren't like two weeks ago on the Midnight Tea Club, we could not say Alan Rickman in chat. Like every single time we said Alan Rickman in chat, like YouTube would just block it. It was the weirdest thing. It was the weirdest thing. Shamisen. Oh yeah, I love shamisen. I love a lot of the Eastern instruments. Shamisen, the koto. A lot of those instruments, just really cool, gorgeous stuff. Gotta love pu'erh's tuning stability. Yeah, it's it's a fun instrument, and China's has a long history of collective music things, and there may be some cultures in the U.S. where you find that, kind of like a southern, band that gets together, just kind of like the neighbors and whatnot, and strum and things and play some different instruments. But it's all the time in China. Like you can walk through any park in China, and there will be a group in that park somewhere it'll generally be like four of them. Like one guy's got a small erhu, the other guy's got this other instrument, and if it's in Yunnan, they got like the gourd flute, and they'll just be like just jamming in the park. And I really like that. I like the idea that they live outside. The park culture in China is pretty cool. So there's almost always people in a park just jamming, just playing music. Pretty cool to see that. And watching them play the erhu is just incredible. It's just really amazing. Really good skill at that. Such a hard instrument. Danger zone. 2 king cobras this time. Double the danger, double the zone. Yeah, we do. We actually have it on the site this time. We didn't press it as danger zone in the danger zone wrapper, but we have the Huckeye Old Tree material. It's the Huckeye Elemental balls are actually the same material this year. So Your dad's going to build a 3/4 guitar for your niece. Hey, if you guys know, I mean, for those of you who know about music type stuff, been trying to get Gemma into the ukulele. She actually really enjoys it. She sits down and strums on it and tries to sing and make up her own little songs, which I think is the most adorable thing. She's turns out she's naturally left-handed. She likes to do everything left-handed. Do I restring the ukulele for her? She keeps trying to hold it like the opposite way, and I don't. Should I let her learn to play it left-handed, or should I instruct her to continue to learn to play it right-handed? Because I think it's going to be stressful for her long term if she learns to do everything on left-handed instruments, and all the instruments out there are going to be right-handed instruments. What do you guys think on that? Should I restring it the opposite way and let her learn to play it the way she feels is the natural way, or should I encourage her to go the right-handed route? I don't really know what to do about that. I've been trying to encourage her to do it the other way, but every time I turn around, she flips it around and does it the other way. Ro can play. Hey, Ro, what's going on, man? If you guys don't know, Ro is local to me. Ro put in an order yesterday, and I was like, hey, man, I totally forgot like how close you are. Like, I'll just pack your tea up. I got to leave, heading over that way anyways. And so I just drove by Ro's house and just like dropped the tea off faster than Amazon Prime, that quick, speedy tea delivery. So if you guys want faster tea from Crimson Lotus Tea, obviously you just need to move to the North Seattle area. And so you can either pick it up or I can drop it off if all possible. Sculpson, do it the way she wants. You can't get lefty instruments. Yeah, I know you can get lefty instruments, but I was trying to kind of keep these guitars or these little ukuleles in our house for the rest of us to play, and it was just like, if I've got one that's like, I mean, do I restring it, or do I just let her like learn the chords backwards? I don't know. Maybe I should just not. I'm not entirely sure. She'll play better left-handed, and it's usually more stressful if they have to learn. That's wrong for them. Okay, all right. That is good to know. Let her play however comes naturally to her. You can always restring them to match her, and there are left-handed instruments. Yeah, Ro, fastest delivery ever. I probably got it to your house in inside of half an hour. I think that's pretty good. I can't promise that that's always going to be the case, but it worked out well for that day. And it was funny, like your neighborhood. Yeah, like just like one street over, Lamu's friend lives there, and so Gemma has little play dates over there. So I literally knew exactly where it was, which I thought was pretty cool. Lefty instruments are widely available now, but if she insists on strumming with her left hand, then restringing it backwards will help with the right hand. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I'll have to. She's not at the place where she really wants to concentrate on like learning, but she's definitely having fun, just kind of like jamming with it. So I'll let her jam. I'll let her do her lefty jam thing. But then on mine, I'll have to keep it. I won't restring it yet because I don't think she's really wanting to learn the chords and stuff yet. But look up koto on ukulele. You can get a cool sound out of it. The video called "The Most Unusual Ukulele Chord" might be fun for you to learn. Yeah, I will. I'll take a look. I'll take a look at that. I like. I'm still just trying to kind of learn the rhythm. I generally have spent more time on instruments that only make a single sound at a time. So kind of like the concept of chord and like strumming like a guitar just seems a little bit awkward to me. Usually playing a flute where realistically you're only playing like one note at a time. You don't really get to blend notes. And so, yeah, it's kind of like like even just like strumming patterns and stuff just kind of stresses me out. I try and follow along with some YouTube videos, but just kind of I have more fun when I'm actually like picking individual notes than I am when I'm trying to like strum or do something like that. But that's me. I will check out koto on ukulele. I'll actually pull it up now. Koto on, so I can remember to check it out afterwards. Cool. Well, it's about 11 o'clock. And I'm sorry I got a little late start on this today, and sorry about the stream jam. Sorry that it kind of like died there. I'm not entirely certain what happened. It wasn't the stream that died. It's this machine just completely just pooped itself. Single note instruments are like single bush teas. That's pretty funny. That makes sense. I get it. I get it. I understand what you mean. No, I don't. I don't really fear the blend, but it just kind of stresses me out a little bit. It's mostly on trying to understand strumming patterns. Yeah, I want to play like specific notes, and this idea that you kind of like play one, you don't play like a specific. It just, I don't know, whatever. It's just my trying to wrap my head around it. I'm just coming from it from a different perspective. I'm just a musical hobbyist. That's it. Yeah, no, this was great. I really appreciate everybody joining in for the stream. Sorry about all the difficulties. I hope you guys have a good week. How is Cloudy Days for a show? Cloudy Days is great. I mean, at that price point, like, you can't be beat. What is it? $25 for 200 grams? Like, you can't beat Cloudy Days. Even, like one of our other more affordable shows on the lower price end is the white label cake, and that's $10 more for the same size. Cloudy Days. No, you can't beat it. It's a great cake for the price. Cool. All right, guys. I definitely appreciate this. This is a lot of fun. I like having a nice morning session with you guys. Next stream will be this Friday afternoon with Mark Moeller with Sanguine Teapots. He and I are going to brew the exact same tea at the exact same time in the exact same teaware. Both teapots will have been made of the same clay, the same fire at the same time, same kiln. A lot of tea synergy there, and be awesome for you guys that are interested in clay and ceramics and what clays and things do to come in and ask him every single possible question that you have, because that's what he does. He's quite knowledgeable on that. So again, thank you so much for joining the stream. I'll see you guys online. Have a good week.